Hey guys, welcome back to another Wuthering Waves tier list video, and I'm back with Sweat. We made a tier list of the characters back in like 2.2, something like that, and we're gonna be doing one for the weapons. We can make like an updated tier list maybe when more like version 2 characters come out, but I did get a couple people asking me like what weapons are great, because rule of thumb is like the signature weapon is good for the signature character, but like what else could you get out of it, especially for like the 4 stars. So we're going to be going through it pretty quickly. Weapons are fairly simple, and a lot of them are, frankly, garbage. We're mostly only going to be covering the 5-star and the 4-star ones. If there's a 3-star weapon of note, then maybe we can bring it up, but I really don't think it's like that necessary, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's one sword for Codithea, that's it.
Which is the HP sword, right?
Yes, exactly.
Alright, so also for your convenience, I decided to... Oh, let me actually full screen this, yeah. So
also, hello.
Oh yeah, Sweat's here. For your convenience, we'll also be pulling up the actual weapons here. Just a really quick rule of thumb, the tiers are here as you can see here. We have strong weapons, optimal on many characters. So if a weapon's good for multiple users, then that will definitely bring its value back up a lot. And then from then on, it's like, is it really better than just like on the signature character? And then we have a tier here that says better than 4 stars. Which are only going to be covering a couple 5-star options, and then we have the usable 4 stars, and then a bunch of bad ones. The weapons are going to be as follows. So the 5-star weapons will all be graded based on rank 1, while the 4 stars will be graded based on rank 5. And then, yeah, so we can get started right away.
Now, something I need to precise first.
Sure.
What we are grading this on, in terms of what weapon goes in what tier, well, obviously it's in the tier name for the most part, but other than that, we're basing this on clearing endgame content with the characters equipped on those weapons. That is basically the goal we have in mind with this tier list.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, yeah. Meta efficiency.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So here we have Blazing Brilliance, this Chun-Li's signature weapon. I'm gonna put it on this tier here. So it gives crit damage and an unconditional attack boost, as you can see right here. Let's actually go find it. Rod blade, and no, regular sword. So it gives crit damage, and then it also gives an unconditional attack boost, but I feel like the activation condition for the remainder of the weapon is really only accessible by her. Or it can only really be taken full advantage of by Chun-Li.
Something to take note of, Vars, you have the weapons at R5 here, the effects on the side.
Yeah, I did that just because, actually, yeah, we're only doing the 5 stars, we'll keep it at 1 and then remind me to bring this up again later. Yeah. Sure,
yeah. Alright, so for my take on Blazing Brilliance, many people think of it as like the best generalist sword because the skill damage boost, while it is only most usable by Cheng-Li, of course, it is plenty usable on other characters who deal some extent of resonant skill damage, like, I don't know, Sunhua, Spectre and Havoc Rover, characters like that. The thing is, on those characters, there is Camellia's weapon, Red Spring, which is always equal or very close, like by a very small decimal percentage in terms of strength. And then there's simply characters that use Red Spring better. The truth of the matter is, Cheng-Li on Blazing Brilliance doesn't benefit as much, for example, as a Camellia on a Red Spring. Having her signature compared to having Emerald of Genesis, which is the standard 5-star weapon, is a very minimal difference. And as a result, many people tend to overestimate how good Blazing Brilliance really is, which explains why Vars is giving it somewhat of a mid-tier placement. And I get that. There is an argument to be made that it could be strong on more than just a signature character. I don't believe in it. That's basically my take on Blazing Brilliance. I think ultimately Red Spring is overall a better choice because it's more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And I don't like Blazing Brilliance as a result.
I'm also very biased towards crit rate over crit damage. That's like just something that I have like, carrying on from like other gacha games and stuff. I just think that crit rate is generally more important to have. Like if you think about the thresholds for crit rate, like crit damage you can go as high as you want, right? But crit rate you need to get to like the 85, 90, 95% breakpoints. And for a lot of characters, it helps out a lot. I mean, the description is not that inaccurate, right? It's like really good. It's like good for Chun-Li, and then other characters could use it, but it's not like super strong.
Yeah, ultimately, One thing you gotta keep in mind on the crit rate versus crit damage argument,
Mhm.
you can have crit rates and not have crit damage and the stat will be used. You cannot have crit damage without crit rate and expect the stat to have value.
Alright, next one, Aegis of Harvest. If memory serves, this is Jinshi's weapon. So,
Yes.
Aegis of Harvest, I think it could go on more than just a signature character. It's a stat stick, that's the main thing. It's a pretty good stat stick overall. The skill damage thing is like, so far, it's not really that accessible amongst Broadblade users. Like, Broadblade users are primarily like heavy attack or liberation damage at the moment. That being said, I think the activation condition for 40% resonant skill damage is pretty easy to do, which means, like, I guess if we look at it from like a future point of view, which might not be super accurate or might not be super relevant, could make this a more like future-proof weapon. I think just the fact that it's a stat stick alone is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Aegis of Harvest is like, as you'll be able to see later, it is the best like generalist probably that there is in the game, compared to other options that are definitely more specialized. Aegis of Harvest does have the, like you said, the skill damage condition, which is easy to proc, and there's some extent of skill damage on basically every Broadblade damage dealer at the moment. Makes this weapon have pretty good value, at least better than the other Broadblades for sure, because all of them are specialized, except Harvest really, which makes it rank higher.
Yeah, and also, again, I'm biased because it's also the only crit rate Broadblade, so at the moment... Wait, no, wait, Augusta is crit damage? Wait, what's Augusta's weapon?
No, it's crit rate. It's just a very small amount of it. It has very high base attack. That's the highest base attack of any weapon.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a Verdant Summit? Question mark?
Yes.
Yeah, Verdant Summit.
Jiyan's weapons.
I'm gonna say, okay, I'm putting it similar to Aegis of Harvest in that it's almost an exact one-to-one of Jinshi's weapon in the sense that, like, you get the same, like, attribute damage. Why is it different description, though? That's weird. You get the same attribute damage bonus, but instead of resonant skill, it's heavy attack ×2, and then you switch out the crit damage or crit rate. I think crit rate's better, but you can't, it's not that much different. There's also the benefit of Verdant Summit being good on not just GN, but also Augusta, because they're both heavy attackers. So,
yes,
you could use this if you need to.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close to Augusta's signature, believe it or not. Unlike her, it's a pretty small difference. There is a difference. It's pretty small. Like, ultimately, use Augusta on Verdant Summit, use Augusta on signature, you won't feel the difference. It'll be the same power level. It's very strong, like, as a generalist option as well.
Yep.
I do think there's more of an argument to be made for Aegis of Harvest being like more widely usable than Verdant Summit, because heavy attack is definitely a more specialized attack type than skill damage at the moment. However, it's very strong on 2 characters. That in itself has value.
Yeah, it's like, this is like S tier on 2 characters, this is like S on 1, and then A tier among like a bunch of others. So it's like, I guess it evens out. String Master. Arguably the best 5-star weapon, if not the best 5-star weapon in the game. It is just so...
De facto the best. It's not close.
It's attack, it's a freaking shitload of crit rate, and it's all damage bonus by 12%, and then the resonant skill, like some rectifier users might not be able to use resonant skill twice, but even if you can use it once, it's a free bonus attack. And then again, it can scale as high as 40% if the resonator is off-field, which, you know, a lot of rectifier users are off-field attackers, like Cantarella, Zhe, Yinlin. There's gotta be one more, right?
Yeah, Cantarella, Zhe,
Well,
Yinlin.
Frolova, question mark? Yeah.
Frolova, yes, Frolova.
Yeah, so this weapon just does everything. Like, there's no reason not to use this weapon. Like, I think maybe like the only drawback is that you might not be able to get the extra 24%, but you don't need to. Like, you can get 24% attack, 12% damage bonus, and 36% crit rate. Like, what's not to love about this weapon? This is like the one weapon where I feel like you can argue having more than one copy is actually worth your while.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, String Master, ultimately you gave the wrong description for the effect, by the way. It's not about using resonant skill twice, it's about dealing an
there we go.
instance of skill
Yeah.
damage twice.
Oh, then that makes it even easier.
For example, Encore, right, can activate it in a singular skill, like fully. That's why it's her best install, by the way. It gives her a ton of attack. And also the off-field effect fully applies to any swap-cancelled attacks as well, which is insane.
That's a detail I did not know.
You can make use of the full effect of the weapon on so many characters. It is stupid. It's so good.
And it's also, the numbers are just really high.
Yeah, everyone uses attack, everyone uses damage bonus, everyone uses crit rate. It's that easy. It's universal stats.
It's broken.
It's a massive amount of them. Yeah. It's broken. It's broken. Like, okay, the only character String Master is not the best or second best in slot on is Cantarella, and it's by 1%.
Well, that's just because Cantarella has other options that are like just a teensy bit more optimal for her.
It's her Sig and Rime-draped Shrouds, which is 1% better than String Master. Wow, that is insane, dude.
Speaking of Rime-draped Sprouts, I'm a little bit torn with this weapon because if you can access the full benefit of this weapon, it is absolutely broken. Like, this thing is disgusting. But the activation condition is so specific that, I mean, it's easy to get the activation condition, but then the type of damage that you have to do to like actually get the 52% kind of kills a lot of the value out of it. And so I feel like I would put it either here, where it's basically just Joju, or because of the fact that there are just so many other weapons that she can use, namely in the form of String Master, or even Cosmic Ripples, I feel like it might even be here. Like, this is not top priority for her.
I'm not a fan at all of Rime-draped Sprouts. It is extremely redundant when String Master is the thing everybody will and should, in fact, be pulling. It is a very small difference over String Master on both Cantarella and Jaja, who are the only ones you should consider the weapon on. I just don't like it. I think ranking it low is fair because while it has usability, it's not a priority pull when String Master is on the account, which it should be. Why wouldn't you pull it? So I mean, if you don't have String Master, by all means, right? By all means, if you want your Jaja to do a lot of damage, this is her best in slot. It is.
Yeah.
But I don't like it because String Master exists and it's so much more flexible and broken, as we detailed before.
Right, and it's also like String Master, it's intended for the user to contribute pressure off field.
Yes.
It's again, there's a redundancy, like you mentioned, there's a bit of overlap. It does seem a bit superfluous that Rime-draped Sprouts was designed like this, especially since Joju came out not too long after Yinlin did. But I mean, it's a good weapon. It's an objectively good weapon. Just
yeah, it's good. Okay, Vars, real quick,
sure.
Pull up the weapon page real quick, the descriptions. Let's satisfy our agenda once more. Rime-draped Sprouts gives crit damage, String Master gives crit rate.
Right, there you go. Yes, the crit damage thing definitely is gonna... No, it really matters.
Always.
Yeah. Alright, Verity's handle. Okay, let me actually just grab the description again. So, Verity's handle, I give it the same kind of description, or my same kind of evaluation as Aegis of Harvest, where it's just a stat stick. That being said, liberation damage is a bit more specific than skill damage or any other parameter. Not as much as heavy attack, I would say, but I'd say it could be like, it's a very tentative like here. I kind of want to put it here for consistency, because if we put Aegis of Harvest here, then I think Verity's handle for Gauntlet users could do the same. But then there is one other thing in that, like, Blazing Justice is also a stat stick.
And there's another thing to consider for Verity's handle, which you're not considering because the character is not currently released, Vars. This is Yuno's second best in slot option, very close to her signature. Wait, I shouldn't say that. Cut that out. Cut that out. Yeah, so one thing you didn't consider, Vars, is that this is good on a character who is not currently released, which is Yuno. She deals liberation damage as her most important damage type. Do we know whether this is better or close to her signature? We don't, but it's definitely going to be a strong option on her because she's focused on liberation damage, and, you know, the liberation damage gauntlet will be good necessarily on the liberation damage gauntlet's character, right?
Okay, that's a good point.
Will it be as good as her signature? We don't know. Will it be good? Most definitely. So it's gonna be a good secondary option for Yuno. As for how good it will be, we'll have to see compared to a signature, since we don't have that yet. But definitely, with Yuno in mind, it's pretty easy to make the argument that it should be in the second highest tier. I think it should be strong on it is strong on Zhang Liao. It is a good replacement option on many gauntlet damage dealers. There you go. That's my take on it.
That's a good point. I actually didn't get a chance to look at Yuno's kit yet, so then that gives it like the GN argument, where like the GN Augusta argument, where it's basically what Verdant Summit is for gauntlet users. So in that case, you can put it here. Stellar Symphony is going to be the next one. All right, so my take on this is that at first glance, this is a phenomenal rectifier to have for anyone who wants to heal, because not only are you getting all the energy regen you ever need, attack's not that relevant because it doesn't matter when you're on a healer. You also get concerto energy when you're using your liberation, and Verity as Shorekeeper, Baito, like all of them, they want to switch out as quickly as they can. You also apply a nice, it's not a substantial attack buff, but it is a long-lasting attack buff that applies to the entire party. That being said, there is, where the hell is it? Variation. Variation is basically exactly the same as Stellar Symphony, only Stellar Symphony gives like marginally more energy regen, but at a point where it's like superfluous. It's a little bit gratuitous to get any more than like 40% energy regen for a healer, maybe a little bit more than that. So you're essentially paying a premium to get 12% HP and 14% attack for the party.
And more ER, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, but at a certain point, you don't need much more than 51.8%, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, remember this, right? Remember this. We're considering Stellar Symphony at R1. That's giving you 8 concerto. Variation is considered at R5. So that gives you double. It gives you 16 concerto.
Oh, that changes everything, right?
It speeds up your rotation more.
Yeah, and the irony is that Shorekeeper's worst drawback is her terrible concerto energy generation. So in some cases, Variation could be better for her because you can get out faster and get more use of your Stellar Realm on your other characters. Again, it's not a bad weapon. It's just like there's a lot of overlap in terms of like what it's trying to do, and not much more of a difference to necessarily justify buying an entire item.
I don't like calling it better than a 4-star.
Really?
I don't like calling it better than Variation, Vars. It's the most redundant pull in history when you have Variation. If you don't have Variation, this weapon is definitely worth considering because the concerto boost is huge. But most people should have Variation. Keyword should. If you don't, this weapon's phenomenal. If you do, it's the most redundant pull in history. There's an argument for it to go bottom tier. It's definitely the lowest priority weapon out of all. There's also an argument to keep it unusable. I think you can go either way, Vars, depending on what you prefer. There's an argument for both sides.
I'm gonna say, like, realistically, the main thing holding back Stellar Symphony is the cost to obtain it. The cost benefit is not that great. If we were to cast aside cost, let's say assume the people who already have it, then yes, Stellar Symphony is Shorekeeper's best in slot.
It's just like such a marginal difference.
True.
Why would you pull it?
I think we can rank check. We'll come back to this if we really need to.
While we're at it, we might as well rank Variation in the top tier. We already discussed it.
Yeah, where the hell is it? This one? No.
Yes,
okay,
we already discussed this one. It's the best weapon. It's the best 4-star weapon, very close to Stellar Symphony, like extremely close, basically the same thing on all the top tier supports, who are Shorekeeper, Verena, Baita, all of those rectifiers who want to get out of the field quickly and don't deal damage. And those units are so universal. Variation gets so much use on those characters. It's fantastic.
I might even consider it the best 4-star weapon in the game.
It is. It is. Factually, it is.
Okay. Red Spring. So we just talked about Blazing. We talked a lot about Red Spring. We're just gonna put it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it belongs here.
All right.
I think it does.
All right. Next gun is going to be Last Dance. Okay, so for Last Dance, I'm trying to remember, what did I put Last Dance for? I'm gonna keep it here. It's got crazy crit damage and skill boost damage. Just the thing in that, because of how short it is, and the fact that
this is still at R5 Vars, just for...
Okay, yeah. No, because I was
It's
like, that's a
fine.
little higher than I thought it would be. Yeah, just because of the way it's constructed, only Carlotta can repeatedly maintain the resonance skill damage bonus.
Resonance skill damage is such a low priority type on Shikona.
True.
One character you're forgetting about, though, is Chisha. This is her best in slot.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, Chisha's like...
Well, she's gotten...
She's a good 4-star character, but she's not like... I don't know, it's... Okay, you got like Jian, and then you get Augusta. Those are 2 good characters. And then you have like Shang Liao, and then Yuno. I don't know if Chisha is like equivalent to like, let's say GN or Shang Liao in terms of like,
No, I
two
definitely
characters.
understand you. I definitely understand you. Understand this. The Last Dance is the best DPS pistol we have right now.
Or just
the thing is,
general.
the only real pistol DPS we have at the moment is Colada. This weapon is highly likely, although not guaranteed, but highly likely to be a good weapon on more than just Colada in the future. But since we don't currently have pistol damage dealers and we don't know who will be coming out doing what damage type, it's pretty safe to rank it as just good for Colada. Chixia also. This is Chixia's best in saw. If you're using Chixia, by all means, pull Last Dance. But I think it should be in the same tier as Blazing Brilliance. It's extremely strong on Colada for sure, but we just don't have anyone else other than her and Chixia who make any use out of this weapon at all.
I suppose, yeah, we could give it the same label as like being a general stat stick like Aegis of Harvest and Verity's, because even if you can't spam, even if you can't re-spam Liberation over and over again, you can still get 10 seconds of 48% skill damage bonus. That's pretty big, right? Because
Yeah,
you get
of
your
course.
intro skill in, and then you can cast your ultimate. Like, some characters could find a reason to use it, and again, it's not crit rate, but it is but it is a hefty amount of crit damage. So I don't think anyone would complain. We'll put it here then. I guess we could be a little bit nicer.
There's an argument to make it a tier below. I think it can stay here, ultimately.
Okay.
I think it's going to stay this tier.
Tragic comedy. Okay, I'm very conflicted with tragic comedy because like when reviewing Rocha and looking at what tragic comedy does for her, and just Rocha as a character, like I don't have the most optimistic viewpoint on this weapon, but it is a good stat stick. So heavy attack damage is the lowest priority attack type, but it's also super easy to keep using or to have it because you just have to auto attack.
Yeah, but the thing is, a basic attack which does heavy damage, that's something that Zani does, that's something that Rocha does. Is it any good on any character other than those two? No.
Yeah.
Tragic Comedy is not great as a flexible option. It only extends to Rocha and Zani. Rocha needs this weapon to stand out from Sanhua or like a Shorekeeper in a Falova team, by the way, non-negotiably.
Yeah.
She needs it to stand out.
Well, she needed
Otherwise,
it even
she's
before.
Bad.
She needed it
Yeah,
even beforehand. Like when she first came out, she needed this to stand out.
Yeah, she needs it to stand out from Sanhua in the Kamele team. She needs it to stand out from Shorekeeper in the Falova team. It is, Rocha's just generally in the top spot with her signature. So it's a high priority pull if you plan to use her. It's also a good flexible option for Zani. Zani's weapon, however, is a much better option as a general flex slot, like flex weapon for any gauntlet damage dealer. It's tough to rank it. It's strong on two characters. It's
Yeah,
not
so it
strong
should be here,
anywhere
but I
else.
don't think it like I'm gonna
It could be an alternative option for Zani. You know
yeah,
what?
no, it deserves this tier at the least, but just not it's hard to put it higher than that.
Yeah,
It's like,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
all right. Next one is going to be what the hell is Phoebe's one? Luminous Him. Yeah, Luminous Him. Signature, and it's pretty easy. Why? It's pretty easy one to figure out why. It's a big stat stick. You also get basic attack and heavy damage bonus, which can matter, but it's only if you can apply Spectral Frazzle.
Well, it's only if Spectral Frazzle is on the team specifically.
So, because I was saying, if can this be given to someone, have someone else on the team apply Spectral Frazzle, and then that person can attack? Because then in that case, but then like how many Rectifier users want to be on the team with Spectral Frazzle?
There is no reason for Spectral Frazzle to be on the team unless it is Phoebe in specific.
Yeah, so it's signature basically.
Yeah, it's just you just use this on Phoebe. It's good on Phoebe.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay, Unflickering Valor.
Just Brant.
It's
That's
just
it.
Brant. Like
Technically, there's Cardothea. Is it Cope? Yes, absolutely. But technically, there's Cardothea.
yeah, no, it's just Brant. It's just Brant. Now, I mean, actually, weren't there people discussing if an energy-based Brant build even is that much better than trying to just go for raw stats, like raw DPS?
It is way better. Yes.
Okay,
He is one of the most signature weapon reliant characters in the game, Vars.
I mean, yeah, that goes without saying. Whispers of Sirens. Whispers of Sirens. I mean, okay, we kind of talked about this with Stringmaster. Cantarella's weapon, signature weapon, is obviously signature for her in that like she can make full use of it. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure for Lova can as well, right?
Falova can, yes, you can.
Yeah, but the thing with String is that Stringmaster sets such a high bar for like what, like when in doubt use this, that like Whispers of Sirens is, I believe, only like maybe at most like 5-6% better on Cantarella, right? Or is it like a little bit more than that?
I think it's something like that. Hold on, let me check. Actually, like 10%, actually.
Okay, then that does matter, but I don't think anyone else wants to, because
It
like
matters on Cantarella for sure.
yeah,
It matters on
Cantarella, but like to be fair, every character has one echo skill, so they can get this. The second one could be a
Yes.
little trickier, if not only Cantarella and Frolova, because they're the only ones who have echo skill. And this is probably what matters the most, is that any kind of like defense or resistance penetration is like really important, because it's a stat that doesn't have many things to increase it for. But if you can't get this, then you're essentially playing with an entirely worse String Master.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, right, we are talking about Frolova with this weapon. Frolova's best insult partner is Cantarella herself. She's better using her own weapon than Frolova is, you know, stealing Cantarella's weapon. That ultimately makes no sense. So overall, it's kind of just Cantarella. Like, it's flexible, it's usable on others. Should you pull this weapon over, for example, a String Master? Absolutely not. The String Master just makes every other rectifier look so bad in terms of flexibility.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, it's like a good, better, best scenario.
I mean, Whispers of Sirens is definitely great. It's a great weapon. Is it better than String Master flexibility-wise? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no. Pretty much no. Okay, Blazing Justice. Blazing Justice, I'm gonna put in this tier right here. It's
Agree.
It is okay. So this doesn't really matter all that much. I really just like this. I might be overvaluing Ignore Defense, but I think that, like, you know, crit damage and attack unconditionally, and then it's just dealing a basic attack. Just dealing a basic attack, you can ignore enemy defense, and it also has no cooldown, so you could just spam. You basically have unconditional ignore defense, which you don't see on many weapons at all. And I think that can probably give it a better edge over Verity's handle, unless the person specifically has liberation damage.
Yeah, but that's just Zheng Liao, and you know, as things stand, Blazing Justice simply has the more universal passive of any weapon, at least any gauntlet, because they're all very specialized. Even the Abyss Surges specifically caters towards doing basic and skill damage, which is very specific. It's only an Encore and Ligyang thing, really.
Yeah.
So, you know, every gauntlet is kind of just bad flexibility-wise, and Blazing Justice is the only solid one. By default, it makes it strong.
Okay, Woodland Aria is gonna be for Chikona, and I don't think it's really much of a surprise. It is a busted 36% crit rate on a gun compared to Static Mist only giving 24, but literally no one except Chikona can apply erosion on guns. If Alto could, then maybe, but I mean, Alto's a terrible character, so...
Yeah, I mean, even still, right? Something to note on Chikona is, even though she's the only one who uses this weapon, this is actually pretty substantial in terms of like team damage increase because of the Era Rest Red. It actually matters quite a bit in like Cardathia teams. This weapon is great value on Chikona, which is surprising when Static Mist is already itself a high value pull, but that's just something I wanted to note. Other than that, it's literally just a Chikona weapon, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of like the later weapons become hyper specific because they're trying their best not to just make another String Master. I think they realized like they messed up.
Yeah, it's a mistake, dude.
Yeah.
That weapon's a mistake.
Rover weapon.
Okay, this is, yeah, Bloodpact's Pledge. This is great on Rover. Only Rover uses this. It effectively gives them their outro skill. We have R4 currently available at the moment. So R4, you get 22% damage amplification to arrow for the entire body for 30 seconds. It's great. This is essentially giving Arrow Rover an outro skill, but it's in the description that only Arrow Rover can use the passive.
Not even when user uses resonance skill, it is specifically Unbound Flow, which is Arrow Rover's resonance skill. You cannot, you can't bullshit with this weapon. It is just Rover.
But something to note is actually it's pretty good for Brandt when you use him without his signature. It's actually like his best option by like 1% over Emerald of Genesis, which is hilarious to me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's usable on him.
Alright, that makes sense. Okay, so this one is going to be this is Defier's Thorn.
Cardathia's weapon.
So it's signature. Like okay, like I don't know how much more specific.
HP sword.
You could not make a more specific sword for Cardathia, and you could not make a more like. Wait, why just say like? Oh, there you go.
It's awesome on it's awesome on Cardathia. It's awesome on her. It's just her though. You pull this weapon if you have Cardothea. You don't if you don't have her.
Give us another
that's
HP sword user, then we can put this in the tier above, but that's about it. Okay, Wildfire Mark is, I'm gonna say signature. So Wildfire Mark might be the most specific weapon that isn't like brand weapon, because you need to be able to do so many different things to increase different things and then also the fact that it's just fusion damage for the entire team.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many characters that use liberation, that deal liberation damage, and then heavy attack damages to, like, after using liberation damage, who's a fusion character in an all fusion party team.
Technically, Augusta and Mortiphy, this weapon works. It's stupid. She doesn't do liberation damage though, so the stat is wasted.
Mortiphy can't use this either because it's a broadblade, not a gun.
No, I meant Augusta uses it to buff Mortiphy, but it's a stupid interaction.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's just, she doesn't do liberation damage. You're better off using like any other limited broadblade on her.
Yeah.
But it is a very funny interaction. Other than that, it's just Lupa. Lupa is great with it though. She's great.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it is a signature. It has to be. Lithian Elegy.
Awesome on Falova. This is insane on Falova.
Yeah.
This weapon is so good on her. It gives so many good stats. It's insane, but it's just Falova again.
I mean, can't Cantarella use this?
She doesn't do skill damage. She does basic damage.
Oh, that's right. No. Her thing is echo skill activation, but this is specifically echo skill damage.
Oh yeah. No, echo skill damage. Yeah, no, she doesn't.
Okay, so I need to remember the name of this. I literally just finished the Augusta
This
script.
is Thunderflare Dominion.
So here we got oh my god, the attack boost on this is just insane. It is the highest attack boost.
This is the highest base attack in the game.
Yeah, like oh my god, the power is insane. Crit rate is a little minuscule. It's actually almost negligible. It's like an echo substat.
It's actually shorekeeper level. It's shorekeeper level crit rate buff, which is pretty nice.
Well, I meant like compared to like let's say Aegis of Harvest giving 24%, you're taking a much lower amount.
For sure.
That being said, the one problem about this weapon is the fact that you need to constantly be getting shielded over and over and over, and only Augusta can do that.
This has ramp up heavy attack damage defense ignore when casting shields. That is the most specific thing ever. It's more specific than Lupa.
Yeah, or actually, it's like more specific than Lupa, Shorekeeper, and Cardothea. Like this one, how much more you have to continuously shield yourself, not just have a shield. You need to continuously shield yourself
and deal heavy attack damage in specific.
Because like maybe you could be like, okay, if Jinshin can magically pick up a broad blade, then oh my goodness, Sir Forte Circuit can actually do something. But no, it has to be heavy attack damage. So
yeah. And at least the first half of this weapon is usable on any heavy attack damage broadblade character, so that's good. But that's only Gion and Augusta. And then Gion just benefits way more from a signature than this weapon because it's literally just 20% less heavy damage. And then you have the base attack and crit rate trade off, but that they're balanced, so they're roughly equal.
Pretty much. Okay, so Yuno's weapon, do they have it here or no?
No, Yuno's weapon is again not.
Okay.
Not a.
Alright, then in that case, I'm gonna just put a
we just have the image for it. That's it. Only the image is
check pin comment in like a week or two.
Yeah. When Kuro gives info on this, for now we just have the image that's officially available. It looks cool. That's what we can say on it.
It looks really nice. The weapons look actually all the weapons look really nice.
Yeah, that's so true actually. Okay, now we have the standard series.
Right, Lustrous Razor. I'm gonna say it's usable. It gives energy and liberation damage.
Yes, this works well on Lupa, and that's it. It works well on Kalkara also.
Oh, so do you think it should be a little bit higher than? Oh no, why did I put it usable 4 stars?
Yeah, it's usable better than 4 stars.
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
It's just not by much.
It's not. Like, okay, it's good on Kalkara, it's okay on Lupa, and that's it. That's as far as the weapon goes. And that is an attack static, much like the other standard 5-star weapon series, other than the sword and the pistol, which you'll see are pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know that this basically applies to every this applies to the rectifier, this applies to the gauntlets. They all go in the same tier.
We're gonna put the gauntlet. Why does the gauntlet look like a gun anyway? Like it looks like it could be a gun for some reason.
It does. It actually does.
It's like a two prongs gun. Anyways, we'll get to these guys in a second.
There are two issues that these weapons have. So the main selling point for them is really high base attack and attack percent. They all have this. They also all increase energy regen. All of them do, which are all great things great qualities to have. The issue with them is their passives are not as strong as the sword and the gun, and they also give attack percent as a secondary stat instead of crit rate. Both of those factors make them objectively worse flexible options than the gun and the pistol. Sorry, the gun and the pistol. The gun and the sword. Oh my god, I cannot speak English today. Anyways, yeah. Overall, these two factors make those weapons slightly worse flexibility-wise, but what's for certain is on any damage dealer, all of those weapons are better than 4 stars, like the tier name suggests. So if you have them, or 4 stars, always pick those. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be decent. And on some characters, they'll be good. And that's essentially as far as they go.
Speaking of swords, so Emerald of Genesis would be the closest thing to a string master for swords.
Essentially,
that's the best way to put it.
It's not like it's super strong compared to the other limiteds. The thing is that it's equal to them in almost every situation.
It's got enough universal usability, and again, it's got that juicy crit rate. You can't go wrong with that. It's high base attack, and then it gives energy regen, which
when casting skill, very, very unconditional thing to have.
Yeah, like also a lot of sword users just so happen to have multiple castable skills, right? Like Spectre Rover and Havoc Rover can double cast a skill.
Dungeon
can 50 million caster skill. Changli can double cast her skill. Camellia can press her skill and then and
then repress it later.
You can repress it later, yeah. Cardathia can't.
Cardathia does press her skill multiple times also. But the thing is, she just doesn't use attack.
Yeah, she doesn't use attack, so we'll get to her. We'll get to the it's a guardian sword. She uses guardian sword. Brand can spam a skill over and over again too. So like even if the weapon is not necessarily optimal, every single sword character can use this to its fullest effect.
Yes, it is a great universal weapon. It costs standard pulls. You can select it for free at Union level 45. Should you do it? Absolutely. There are so many sword characters. It's the most common weapon type, and it's great on every sword damage dealer that there is. It's at least usable on everyone, even the most signature reliant like Cardathia and Brandt, and it's better than any 4-star. Yep. So and any 3-star too. So yeah, there you go. Just get this weapon. Same applies to the pistol, but it's slightly lower priority than the sword. What it does. No, you can put it in top tier as well, honestly. They're both must pull.
Yeah.
What it does is instead of buffing your own character's damage, it buffs the character you switch into with an outro skill. It buffs their attack slightly, but it does buff it, which is great on several pistol users, notably Mortefi, which is the most obvious example. And then there's, of course, Alto, there's Shakona. You have options in terms of pistol supports. Generally increasing attack percent for the next character that comes on the field is very universal and good. Everyone makes great use of it. Also, crit rate is a great stat to have on the weapon. And while it is slightly lower priority because damage dealing wise, the Last Dance is going to be a better option, for example, for your Collada. Or your Chisha even, Static Mist gets the job done for sure. It does, even on those characters in specific. And overall, it's just a great weapon to have. It's a great weapon to get later when you get the standard pulse for it, and absolutely you should get it.
Pretty much, it's a good stat stick, and it's a very helpful one. I mean, it just coincidentally happens to line up with 2 out of the 3 best gun users being support or secondary characters, Shakona and Mortefi. They're the secondary. Yeah, they're the secondaries, and they just so happen to also want to power up the main attacker while dealing damage of their own. So it's like they can benefit from the crit rate. Yeah. Obviously, like Woodland aria is better for Chakona, and Last Dance is better for Carlotta and Shisha. Yeah, but Static Mist is just it's a solid weapon. Like you really can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, it's even usable like to a very good extent on Carlotta and Shisha themselves. You cannot go wrong with it.
Yeah. Alright, so that wraps it up for all of the 5-star weapons. We did spend quite a bit of time talking about them, but that's because, you know, they're the main thing to actually think about. Most of the 4-star weapons are pretty cut and dry, and they're all part of like a similar sort of play style. Like you have a weapon type, one for every type of weapon for, I believe, like intro skill, if I remember.
Negative status.
Negative status, healing or
Gain
something
stat
related.
energy.
Yeah, just something like that. Now, some of them can be decently usable and some of them not so much. So I guess we're going to go over all of the ones that are usable, and then by process of elimination, the rest ones will not be. Over here, we have Call of the Abyss. Call of the Abyss will be up here.
Replacement option for Shorekeeper, Baisha, Arena.
Yeah, it's like a good like kind of a healing support thing. Ocean Gift is Phoebe's 4-star option, free-to-play option if you don't have any
Gets
of the...
close to Cosmic Ripples, actually. Worth noting.
Then we have, let's see, what would be next?
Discord is... Okay, so all of the Concerto series is usable because every support that does no damage wants to use them. Like Taoshi, for example. Sanho is good on it. Mortefi's good on Cadenza. Johnshin's good on Mikado, etc.
Where's the Rectifier? Oh, that's variation.
It's top tier of ours.
I was like, wait a second, where's the Rectifier? Okay.
It's just better, silly you.
And then you have the... I need to see the... God dang it. Is it... This would be the...
Helios Cleaver.
Yeah, the Helios Cleaver, but is it the skill? Like after you casting skill, or...
Helios Cleaver is actually pretty good as an attack stick. That's what it does.
What did I put Helios Cleaver on? I put it... I mean, I feel like...
It's usable on most Broadway characters. It's just not like super noteworthy, but that's where all 4-stars stand.
Yeah.
The other ones though of that series, you have no reason to use them.
Pretty much. And then now we're on to the... Which one is it? Wait, no.
Broadway 41, those are the craftables.
Oh yeah, those are like the number one. Where the hell? Yeah, so these ones are all... I would say they're all
not
pretty...
good.
They're all pretty like... Well, okay.
Not good.
Maybe the gun, because like gun users can stay away from enemies and not get hit, but it's not that much better. Like it really isn't.
Those ones are the
Dauntless Evernight, like this is the intro skill one. These are the intro skill ones.
Yeah, so Commando of Conviction, the sword is good.
Yeah.
The rest are not.
Commando of Convictions are great, just the stat stick. I mean, yeah, it's a stat stick. It just gives a lot of attack.
So those are the first Battle Pass series that we're moving on to. We don't really need to like spend too much time on the other ones, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Battle Pass weapons all good except the sword. The sword's useless because Commando of Conviction exists. You can select this sword for free at the start of the game. It is guaranteed. It just gives you attack on intro skill. It's an attack stick. It's good for that.
So like Lumen Gloss and Commando of Conviction overlap with each other, but Commando of Conviction is just a more general version of Lumen Gloss, essentially.
Yeah, and just ends up performing better, like in all situations too.
Wait, so did I? No, this is the Stenard, right?
So yes, you did the sword. The other ones go unusable.
Okay.
Augment and Stonard, the Gauntlet and the Rectifier are good. They give crit rate. They're great. And then the Broadblade Autumn Trace does also. It's good on Augusta and Gion, for example. And yeah, that's basically what they do.
This is like the 4-star alternative for like Augusta and Gion.
Augusta, Gion. The new Battle Pass weapons are also very good on both of them.
That would be the Waning Redshift.
It's not here.
Oh.
It's not here. It's like right there later. I forgot what the name is for this one.
You mean these ones, right?
Yes, these ones. Yes. So this one's Waning Redshift. This one's all of the Black Shore series. Those are the Black Shore series. They're usable. All of them. They give flat resonance energy and they give attack percent, which is activated pretty unconditionally. And there you go. That's essentially what they do.
All of them facilitate energy regeneration, which can be very convenient for people who have suboptimal echoes.
They also give attack percent in general, very unconditionally, very easy to activate. And yeah, there you go, that's their use. Now for the Renacita craftables. For the Renacita craftables, here's the thing about them. They're attack percent statistics, but they're craftables and they're the best like fully free-to-play option on a ton of units as a result. Like they require 0 gotcha and they give attack percent. That's what they're used for.
Quick question, what constitutes negative statuses besides the erosion and frazzle?
Havoc Bane, Glacio, Chafe, whatever.
Those are not in the game yet, right?
They're not, yes, but that's what it's for.
Wait.
Either way, they give attack percent as their secondary stat. They have a high base attack. That's what we use them for.
Oh, that's true. They do. Wait, does
The other
vibration
craftables
break
and fully
count?
free-to-play ones just don't have them. No, they don't. But either way, right? They give attack percent. They have high base attack. They're the best fully free-to-play, like no gotcha at all option on a ton of characters.
Yeah,
So
I
they're
should give more
usable.
credit to that. That's a good point.
They require 0 gotcha. They're guaranteed, and they're the best at that.
Do we have?
Anyways, the new Battle Pass ones, all usable too. All of the new Battle Pass ones are good. We have them officially, yes.
Where are they?
I believe they were on the Wuthering Waves website. Or here. Check the link for more information. I believe they're here, yes.
They should be here. I don't see why they wouldn't be. Aha! There we go. Where is R8 Zen?
Yeah.
Okay, they all have the same. Do they all have the same?
They have similar effects, but
Yeah.
they give different damage types.
Okay, do they all have the same
And they have
substat?
different crits too. They have different crits, but they all give crits.
But they're all crits. Okay, then in that case, bro, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're all great. They're
Yeah.
great.
There we go. All right, so they all go here. You don't have to pay attention to anything else after that. It's just like they give crit, and then they give
They give attack percent when if certain conditions, and they give more damage bonus under certain conditions. Every weapon has a character in mind that can use them. For example, the Broadblade's gun on Augusta, the Rectifier's gun on Encore, Judge, the Rectifiers that deal basic damage, etc., etc.
Yeah, or also just like the activation condition for the first one is synchronous with what the weapon type is expected to have, right? Like for example, guns have very big basic attack users. Like they like to, all the gun users can just basic attack quickly. Rectifiers, all rectifier users will use their skill. So it's like the first clause is super easy to obtain.
Yeah, and they all give crit too. It's great. The only issue is their battle pass. You gotta spend to get them. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
But I mean, you get your money's worth, I would say.
For sure. They're great 4 stars. They're amazing 4 stars. For sure.
Okay.
And then for notable 3 stars, we have Guardian Sword. I don't know what the image for that is.
That's
but-
gonna be this one. Oh, I should have
Yes.
I should have R5'd them. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Guardian Sword is the only notable 3-star sword because it's also the only sword that gives HP, because none of the 4-star swords give HP. As soon as a 4-star sword gives HP, what is the icon? Oh, as soon as God dang it. Okay,
It is at the bottom. It's at the bottom
This one. There you go.
middle-ish. Yes. It's usable 3-star.
There you go.
Usable 3-star in Cardothea if you have none of the options we listed earlier in the video, which is essentially just the Emerald of Genesis and then the limited ones.
I'd
There
be
you
very
go.
surprised if you need to use this sword though. No, actually, no. No, this sword beats out Emerald of Genesis on Cardothea, right?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
But it's close, actually. It's decently close.
Alright,
It's
then.
usable. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so none of these matter. This will be our list. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, disputes, feel free to point the pitchforks and torches at Sweat, not me.
Make
no.
sure to go on Vars's Twitter and ping him over and over for me. Thank you.
Yeah. You guys can call me the worst feels crafter on YouTube, and then we'll call it there. But anyways, yeah, this will be our list. Just let us know down below if you have any disagreements on whatnot. But I think for stuff like Stellar Symphony or Last Dance, like we try to be a little bit more optimistic about usability in most cases.
I think we were as fair as we could be to everything.
Yeah, like we tried to give as much credit where we could.
Yeah.
Again, for Yuno's weapon, just check pin comment. We'll update it in a bit.
When we get news about what it does. Yeah.
That'll be it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @VarsRM. So, do you have a Twitter?
I don't. I'm not on Twitter.
Good, you're not missing out.
Twitter is a thing I'd rather not be a part of as a general statement.
All right, you're not missing out. Don't worry. Join my Discord server and check out my other Wuthering Waves videos if you haven't yet. We'll come back to you guys soon with a tier list, either probably 2.6 or 2.7. It's been a while, and I think a lot of teams changed, so we do want to update that. But until next time, thanks so much for watching, and we'll be seeing you guys again soon later. Take care.
Bye-bye.